Hello everybody, it's Bill's College Football Guy here in the video. You saw this on the paper. I got notes for days here. What conference, what school won the 2025 NFL Draft? Well, basically what we're going to do is a little bit different than we did in previous years. I looked back at the previous videos I did a couple years ago, and I looked at it and like, okay, what are we going to do here? Y'all suggested that I kind of combined everybody from FCS Division 2 and Division 3 together in one list and made that like one conference. I said break it apart into the individual ones, which I'm going to be doing. I'm also going to be mentioning each individual conference and who they drafted. And also we're going to be doing a thing here on, for those of you who don't know what I'm doing, how I score the NFL draft, who wins the draft is basically, it's on a point scale. I do it. If you're for first round pick, you're worth 7 points. Second round pick is worth 6. Third round picks worth 5. Fourth round picks worth 4. Fifth round picks worth 3. Sixth round picks worth 2, and a seventh rounder is worth 1 point. Three tiebreakers. Number one, total most points wins. But if the points are tied, the second tiebreaker is first rounders. Who's got the most? If that's a tie, then it goes to the highest draft pick. Who had the highest pick? That's going to decide this. My hands are running a little high. Got this thing been in storage for a little while. I thought, since the NFL draft, my bill's going up, let's get this going. So, we're do this basically like we're do the FCS conferences, those who got drafted. FCS Division 2, Division 3 is one section. Then we're going to do the G5s and then the P4. I'm going to go through all those. Now, I'm on everybody in FBS level, the G5 and the P4. I'm going to name all the schools in the conference, whether you got drafted or not. I don't have time to do everybody in CS, so I'm just going to do the ones in the conferences that actually had somebody. So, and I'm doing this basically on schools in alphabetical order for each conference, how it was done, and we'll go from there. And at the end of this, like I said, so the fact is you're gonna know what schools at the end of this have one. And once this is done, I'm gonna put this up at the end of the video. I'm saying this now, and I'll remind everybody at the end. There's gonna be a pinned comment where I'm gonna put down what conference that it was, what school, how many points, how many first rounders. I'm going to put down points first. How many points in first? How many points are there? How many points? How many players? How many in first rounders if it applies? To give you an idea. If you want to use the players for something else, like some of you may want to do a revamp Pac-12, revamp Mountain West, revamp Sun Belt, revamp whatever. Conference realignment's always going. So you all can do that because it's going to be every single school in Conference USA, in the Sun Belt, in the Pac-12, in the Mountain West, all named. And so we had a lot to get to. Hopefully this timer doesn't run out on me. So let's start with the FCS Division 2, Division 3 block. First school that somebody drafted was Alabama A&M out of the SWAC. They had Carson Vincent, who was a 5th-round pick. Central Arkansas had David Walker drafted to Central Arkansas in the United Athletic Conference, UAC. David Walker, a 4th-round pick. Montana, from the Big Sky, had Junior Bergen, a 7th-rounder. Montana State had a player, Tommy Mallett, a 6th-rounder. North Dakota State had 2, Greg Zabel, a 1st-round pick, and Cam Miller, a 6th-rounder. Sacramento State, had from the Big Sky, Montana State from the Big Sky. North Dakota State was from the Missouri Valley Football Conference. I've got that. Sacramento State, Big Sky, had a Jackson Slater, a 5th-rounder. And William and Mary from I thought it was originally the Colonial, has now been renamed to the Coastal Athletic Association, the CAA. Colonial is now the Coastal. Don't ask me why. And Charles Grant, who was a 3rd-rounder. So among these in FCS Division 2, Division 3, how they rank? Well, the Missouri Valley, number 1, best out of these conferences with 9, that's both thanks to North Dakota State, 9 points, 2 players, 1st-round pick. Then the Big Sky, 6 points, 3 players, 1st-round pick. Out of the 3 schools, Montana State, and Sacramento State, who finished in first? Sacramento State did, because they had the highest draft pick. It was a 5th-rounder versus a 6th for Montana State and a 7th for Montana. Colonial, 5 points, 1 player. UAC, 4 points, 1 player. SWAC, 3 points, 1 player. So that's good. 5th-round pick, 4th-round pick, 6th-round pick. All right. So at the end of this is done. All these are done. we're going to go through and I'm going to label all the points. Go with each of the conferences going there. We'll go through every conference. That's the C8. Then we're going to get to the FBS. Go through all the schools. At the end of that, after all that's done, we're going to do a top 10 schools, top 10 individual schools, and rank every conference that had somebody drafted. Every conference is ranked. And we ended up with, let me get to the last page. There's a lot of notes here. 16 conferences. We got a lot here, folks. So, let's start off with the American, the AAC. We only had 5 schools that had players drafted. East Carolina. Okay, some of these names I'm getting right now, I'm going to probably butcher some of these, so I'm apologizing ahead of time. What's this? Siobhan Brevell, 3rd round pick for East Carolina. Memphis had 1 player, Kobe Minor, a 7th rounder. Navy had somebody had drafted. Normally I think Navy, Army, Air Force, I think long snapper, because that's normally what they get. No. Ravon Lane. I hope I'm saying your name right. I apologize if I'm not. A 6th rounder. Tulane had 1. Micah Robinson, a 7th rounder. And UTSA had a player, Zach Frazier, a 5th rounder. So how did the rankings go for the American? Well, East Carolina's in first place with 5 points. UTSA is in second with 3 points. Navy's in third with 2 points. 4th place comes to a tie, 1 point apiece between Tulane and Memphis. So neither one is a first rounder, same number of points. Tiebreak is highest rank. Well, Tulane's their player, they both only had 1. Tulane was 237th, Memphis was 257th. So Tulane is 4th, Memphis is 5th. Which means Army, Charlotte, Florida Atlantic, North Texas, Rice, South Florida, Temple, Tulsa, and UAB had no one drafted. Yikes. Conference USA. Really short list. Only 1 school had somebody drafted. Western Kentucky. Upton Stout, 3rd round pick. So Western Kentucky wins by default since they're the only school, which means Florida National, Jacksonville State, Kennesaw State, Liberty, Louisiana Tech, Middle Tennessee State, New Mexico State, Sam Houston State, and UTEP had nobody drafted. All right, the MAC. We had 4 schools here in the MAC that got draft picks. Bowling Green, Harold Fannin, exceptional tight end, 3rd round pick. Central Michigan had Dante Kent, a 7th rounder. Toledo had Darius Alexander, a 3rd rounder. And Western Michigan had Bilal Kane, a 6th rounder. So, who won this? Well, we had 2 schools had 2 5-point guys with 3rd round picks. That's 5 points apiece. So, who was highest ranked? Well, Toledo's pick was 65. Bowling Green's was 67. That close. But Toledo wins. They're in first place. Bowling Green's in second. Western Michigan, both of those with 5 points. 3rd place is Western Michigan with 2 points. Central Michigan had 1 with 1 point, which means Akron, Ball State, Buffalo, Eastern Michigan, Kent State, Miami of Ohio, NIU, Northern Illinois, and Ohio had nobody drafted. Mountain West Conference is next. 5 schools who got drafted players, topping off with Boise State. 9 points on 2 players in the 1st round pick, starting with Ashton Genty, the 1st rounder, and Ahmad Hassanin, I hope I'm saying his name right, apologies if I'm not, who's a 6th round pick. Colorado State had 1, Torrey Hunter, who was a 5th rounder. Nevada had 1, Katan Crawford, a safety, he was a 7th rounder. UNLV, 2 schools that had draft picks in a long time. UNLV, Ricky White III, wide receiver, 7th rounder, and Jalen Utah State from Jalen Royals, wide receiver, 4th rounder. So, who wins the conference? Well, Boise State, number 1, 9 points with a 1st round pick. Number 2 is Utah State with 4 points. Number 3 is Colorado State with 3 points. Nevada and UNLV both only had 1 point, both had 7th rounders. Who was higher ranked? Well, Nevada's was 225 and UNLV was 238. So Nevada's in 4th, UNLV is in 5th. That means Air Force, Fresno State, Hawaii, New Mexico, San Diego State, San Jose State, and Wyoming had nobody drafted. All right. The Pac-12, all 2 schools. 1 player drafted from Washington State, Kyle Williams. So Washington State wins the Pac-12 with a 5 points for a 3rd round pick. And Oregon State obviously didn't have anybody drafted. Sun Belt. 14 schools in the Sun Belt Conference. 1 player. Marshall. Mike Green, a 2nd rounder. I got so mad I didn't even write down the rest of the Sun Belt because they're... Okay. Pac-12 only had one player drafted, but that's 2 schools. Conference USA only had one player drafted, that's 10 schools. Sun Belt only had one school, one player drafted with 14. Texas State, Louisiana, all those schools, Appalachian State, Coastal Carolina, James Madison, no picks. Wow. All right. Next up, I'm going to rank FBS Independence as a conference because we have 2 schools in it, and that's mostly 3 schools that are independents, but only 2 got draft picks. Number 1, Notre Dame. Who wins the contest? 23 points. They had 6 players drafted. Benjamin Morrison in the 2nd round, Xavier Watts in the 3rd round, Jack Kaiser in the 4th round, Riley, am I saying this right? Is it Riley Mills or Kylie Mills? Riley Mills and Mitchell Evans in the 5th round, and Riley Leonard, their starting quarterback, was in the 6th round. UConn actually got somebody drafted, Chase Lunt, in the 6th. So Notre Dame wins the FBS Independent Conference with 23 points. UConn second with 2, and UMass didn't draft anybody. Okay, here comes to the meat of the potatoes of the issue. We're starting the P4. We had 4 pages of notes on the ACC alone. All right, starting this off, we're in alphabetical order here based on drafting. Boston College had 15 points. 3 players drafted. Donovan, oh boy. Is that Owaku? I hope I'm probably butchered that name, and I apologize. I was a 2nd rounder along with Ozzy Trapilo, 2nd rounder, and Drew Kendall was a 5th rounder. Cal also had 15 points, had 4 players drafted. He had Noel Williams, a 3rd rounder, Craig Woodson and Teddy Buchanan, both 4th rounders, and Marcus Harris, a 6th rounder. Clemson, 3 players, a measly 7 points. Barnett Carter, a 4th rounder, R.J. Mickens, a 6th rounder, and Phil Maffa, a 7th rounder. I hope I'm saying that right. Florida State, 9 points, 2 players. Azariah Thomas, was a 3rd rounder, and Joshua Farmer, who's a 4th rounder. Georgia Tech had a whopping 4 points with 2 players. Jackson Harris in the 5th round and Zach Biggers in the 7th round. All right, Louisville had a whopping 15 points here with Tyler Shaw in the 2nd round. How the hell they got that high up, I have no idea. Ashton Gillette, in the 3rd round, and Quincy Riley in the 4th round. Miami, 25 points, 7 players, and 1 first rounder, the number 1 pick in the draft, Cam Ward. You got Elijah Arroyo in the 2nd round. You had Jalen Rivers, Francis Maigoa, and Tyler Barron in the 5th round. Andres Bordigales in the 6th round, and Damian Martinez, wow, in the 7th round. Damian fell that far down. So 25 points, 7 players, Miami. NC State, 1 guy, Anthony Bolton in the 2nd round. That's 6 points for a 2nd round pick. North Carolina had 1 guy, Omarion Hampton in the 1st round, 7th round pick. 7 points for a 1st round pick. Then we got Pitt with 5 points. 3 players in that, was it 4? Branson Taylor and Gavin Bartholomew in the 6th round. And Kanata Mumpfield in the 7th round. SMU, a whopping 2 players. Elijah Roberts in the 5th round and Brashard Smith in the 7th. ACC, Stanford only had 1 player. Elik Ayamanar. Name sound familiar? Remember the guy who pulled a Randy Moss and almost did 300 yards receiving on Colorado? Yeah, that's him. 4th round pick. So that's 4 points for Stanford. Syracuse with 6 points on 4. Yeah, right, 4 players. Aronde Gatson in the 2nd and the 5th round. Kyle McCord, their starting quarterback, went in the 6th, and the Quint Allen and Fadil Diggs went in the 7th. Virginia, 1 player for Virginia. James Sanker in the 3rd round. Virginia Tech had 5 players drafted. Bayshul Tulin, am I saying that right? And Jalen Lane and in the 4th round. And we had Dorian Strong, Antoine Powell Ryland, and Aeneas Peebles in the 6th. 14 points total for Virginia Tech. So how does the ACC rank with all those schools? Well, Miami in 1st place with 25 points in that 1st round pick. 2nd, we had a 3-way tie with 15 points. No 1st rounders. So we had to go with the highest ranked. So Louisville had the highest pick at 40, so they're number 2. All three had 15. Boston College their highest was 44, so they're third. Cal, their highest was 85th, they're fourth. Fifth place, Virginia Tech with 14 points. Florida State's in sixth with 9 points. We had a tie for seventh between North Carolina and Clemson. North Carolina had a first rounder. Clemson did not. North Carolina wins. NC State and Syracuse were tied for the same 6 points. So NC State had a player at 54th. They're in ninth. Syracuse, their highest player, was 165th. They're 10th. 2 schools tied for 5 points. 11th is ended up being Virginia, who had 93, and the other school had 5 points was Pitt, whose highest was 199. And the last 3 schools in the ACC all tied with 4 points. Number 13 school is Stanford because of Alec and Ayamanar, 136th. 14th is SMU at 157, and 15th is Georgia Tech at 173, which means Duke and Wake Forest had nobody drafted. All right, the Big 12. Get my notes out here for the Big 12. Get all these pages together. Starts running together at a certain point. All right, the Big 12. We'll start off with Arizona. Had a whopping 16 points here, including first round of Tatario McMillan. How am I'm going to say that name? I apologize if I'm not. In the first round, Jonah, oh my goodness, Sabanier. In the second round, Tyler Loop in the 6th, and Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt in the 7th. Arizona State, only 1 player drafted, but it was Cam Scatabo in the 4th round. Cincinnati, 1 player drafted, John Williams in the 7th. Colorado, 4 players drafted, Travis Hunter, first round pick. Shadur Sanders in the 5th. Don't get me started. LeJontay Wester in the 6th, along with Jimmy Horn Jr. in the 6th. 14 points for them in all with the first round pick. Iowa State is next. They had 20 points. 4 players drafted. Jaden Higgins in the 2nd round, Darian Porter and Jalen Noel in the 3rd round, and Jalen Travis in the 4th round. Impressive from Iowa State. Next up is Kansas. Had a whopping 4 points from 2 6th-round picks they had. Devin Neal and Bryce Cabaldou. I hope I'm saying that right. Kansas State, 11 points on 3 players. Jacob Parrish was the 3rd rounder, and B.J. Giddens and Marquise Siegel. I hope I'm saying that right. Both of those in the 5th round. Oklahoma State, 11 points they got from 4 players being drafted. Nick Martin in the 3rd. Colin Oliver in the 5th. Ollie Gordon, I'm talking about falling off. Ollie Gordon the 2nd in the 6th. And Corey Black in the 7th. Oh, I'm saying that right. 11 points for Oklahoma State. TCU also had 11 points, but they only had 2 players. Jack Buck in the 2nd, and Savion Williams in the 3rd round. Texas Tech had 7 points on a whopping 2 players. Caleb Rogers in the 3rd, and Taj Brooks in the 6th. Central Florida had 2 players, 9 points on 2 players. R.J. Harvey in the 2nd round, and Mac McWilliams in the 7th. Utah had 1 player, Caleb Lohner in the 7th round. West Virginia had 1 player, Wyatt Millen in the 3rd round. So, how does the Big 12 rank here? Number 1 in the Big 12, Iowa State with 20 points. 2nd is Arizona with 16 points in the 1st round pick. 3rd is Colorado with 14 points in the 1st round pick. 3 schools were tied with 11 points. 3 schools tied. So, highest ranking. So, 4th ends up being TCU. They all had 11 points. TCU's highest pick was 58. 5th is Kansas State at 84. 6th is Oklahoma State at 159. Number 7 is UCF with 9 points. Number 8 is Texas Tech with 7 points. Number 9 is West Virginia with 5 points. We had a tie between Arizona State and Kansas. Both had 4 points apiece. Well, Arizona's pick was 105. That's Cam Scatabo. And Kansas' highest pick was 184. So Arizona State's at 10. Kansas at 11. We had a tie for the 1-point teams between Cincinnati and Utah. Utah's top pick was 241. Cincinnati's pick was 250. So Utah's 12th. Cincinnati is 13th, which means Baylor, BYU, and Houston did not have anybody drafted. Okay, time for the 2 alpha dogs here. More notes on these 2 than anybody else. What a surprise. The Big 10. Start off with Illinois. 1 player, Pat Bryant in the 3rd round. The 5-pointer. Indiana had 5 points too. 2 players, though. C.J. West in the 4th, and Curtis Rourke, their starting quarterback, became a 7th-round pick. Iowa with 11 points on 5 players. Caleb Johnson in the 3rd, Yaya Black in the 5th, and Mason Richmond, Connor Colby, and Luke Lachey in the 7th. Maryland, 17 points on 6 players. Ty Felton in the 3rd, Ruben Hippolyte the 2nd in the 4th, and we had Jordan Phillips and Dante Trader in the 5th, and Caden Prattner, I hope I'm saying that right, probably goofing it up, and Tommy Akinbasate, I'm hoping I'm saying that right too, both of those in the 7th, but 17 points for Maryland. Michigan, woohoo, 36 points, 7 players, 3 first-round picks. Mason Graham, Colston Loveland, and Kenneth Brandt. They had Will Johnson, the monster corner, was a 2nd-round pick. Josiah Stewart was in the 3rd, and Kalel Mellings and Miles Hinton were both in the 6th. Michigan State, conversely, had 1 player, Luke Newman, in the 6th round. Minnesota, 3 players, totaling a whopping 12 points. Ediante Urseri, I apologize, I'm getting the name wrong, is in the 2nd round. Justin Wally in the 3rd, and Cody Lindenberg in the 7th. Nebraska, 5 points on a whopping 2 players. Ty Robinson in the 4th, and Thomas Fedone in the 7th. Ohio State, the Ohio State, let me correct myself here, 69 points, 14 players, 4 first-rounders. Monster. The 4 first-rounders, Emeka Egbuka, Donovan Jackson, Tyleek Williams, Josh Simmons, all in the 1st round. You had Quinshon Judkins, Quinshon Judkins, and Trevion Henderson, along with JT Tumoleo. Maloa. I'm probably butchering that, but they're all 3 in the 3rd round. You had Cody Simon, Lathan Ransom, and Jack Sawyer in the 4th. You had Ty Hamilton, Jordan Hancock, and Denzel Burke in the 5th. And you had Will Howard, the starting quarterback, in the 6th for Ohio State. Monster. Oregon, 44 points, 10 players, and 2 first-round picks. Derek Harmon and Josh Connerly Jr. You had Terrence Ferguson in the 2nd round. You had Jordan Birch, Jamari Caldwell, and Dylan Gabriel, all in the 3rd. You had Jordan James and Jeffrey Bassa in the 5th. Ayani Cornelius in the 6th, and you had Tez Johnson in the 7th. Penn State, 23 points, 5 players, 2 first-rounders, Abdul Carter and Tyler Warren. You had Kevin Winston Jr. in the 3rd, and you had Jalen Reed and Kobe King in the 6th. Purdue actually had a player drafted, Marcus Mabo, 5th round. Rutgers, 4 points, 3 players drafted. Robert Langerbeam, I apologize, 6th round, and Keontae Hamilton and Kyle Managway in the 7th round. I probably butchered that, and I apologize. UCLA, 5 players, 16 whole points. Carson Schweisinger in the 2nd round. Oh, boy. Oluwafemi Oladejo in the 3rd round. Kane Medino in the 6th round. And they had Joy Taya and Molokai Matavayo in the 7th. USC, 10 points on 3 players. Jalen Smith in the 3rd. Woody Marks in the 4th. And Jonah Mannheim in the 7th. Washington. Big Bad Washington. 1 player. Carson Bruner in the 7th. Yes, Washington State. You finished better than Washington. Wisconsin had 2 players for a whopping 2 points. Jack Nelson and Hunter Wohler, both in the 7th round. So, how did the Big Ten rank? Well, number 1, Ohio State, 69 points, 14 players, 4 first-rounders. Number 2 is Oregon with 44 points, 10 players, 2 first-rounders. Number 3 is Michigan, 36 points, 7 players, 3 first-rounders. Number 4 is Penn State, 23 points, 5 players, 2 first-rounders. Number 5 is Maryland with 17 points and 6 players. Number 6 is UCLA with 16 points, 5 players. Number 7 is Minnesota, 12 points, 3 players. Number 8 is Iowa, 11 points, 5 players. Number 9 is USC, 10 points, 3 players. 3 schools, tells you the drop-off comes. 3 schools had 5 points apiece. Who had the highest ranked? Well, Illinois, Nebraska, and Indiana were the tie 3. And if you remember the ranking, Illinois was 74. Or 94, I think it is here. No, it's 74. 74. Nebraska at 111 and Indiana at 113. So it's Illinois, Nebraska, and Indiana. 13. And so Illinois at 10, Nebraska at 11, Indiana at 12. Nebraska is at 13th place with 4 points, 3 players. Number 14, Purdue, 3 points on 1 player. Everybody, and here, number 15 and 16 both had 2 points, highest ranked. Between Michigan State and Wisconsin. Michigan State's 195, Wisconsin's 218, so Michigan State's in 15th, Wisconsin's in 16th, Washington in 17th with a whopping 1 point, and Northwestern did not have anybody drafted. Now, let's get to the SEC. Started with Alabama, 22 points, 7 players, including 2 first-round picks, and Tyler Booker and Jahad Campbell. Jalen Milroe starting quarterback in the 3rd round, Malachi Moore Uke Robinson. Obie Robinson. I'm tired, folks. I wrote this fast. In the 4th, he'll probably hit me for that one. Man, I wrote this bad. Harvey Outs in the 5th and Tim Smith in the 6th. Arkansas, 10 points on 2 players. Isaac Tisla, oh, that's right, in the 3rd, and Landon Jackson in the 3rd. Auburn, 9 points on 3 players. Jarquez Hunter in the 4th. Keandre Lambert-Smith in the 5th, and Jalen McLeod in the 6th round. Florida, a whopping 18 points on 7 players. Chineri Dyke, okay, in the 4th round. Kane Jackson, Javon Marshall Jr., and Shamar James, all in the 5th round. Graham Mertz, their starting quarterback, and Jeremy Crawshaw in the 6th round, and Trikwezi Bridges, love the name, in the 7th round. Georgia, the Bulldogs, 55 points, 13 players, 3 first-round picks, Mikael Williams, Jalen Walker, and Malachi Starks. You had Tate Rutledge in the 2nd round. You had Dylan Fairchild and Jared Wilson in the 3rd round. You had Arian Smith and Trevor Etienne in the 4th round. You had Tyrion Ingram-Dawkins and Sanel Mondon Jr., both in the 5th. You've got Warren Brinson in the 6th round. And you have Dan Jackson and Dominic Lovett in the 7th round. All right, Kentucky. This is for this. My team on this is kind of funny. Kentucky, 11 points, 2 players. Maxwell Hairston, first-round pick. And Deion Walker, 4th-round pick. Both went to Buffalo. Yeah, Buffalo drafted the entire Kentucky draft class. Crazy. All right, LSU, 30 points, 7 players, and 1 first-round pick, Will Campbell. You had Mason Taylor in the 2nd round. You had Emory Jones and Savion Jones in the 3rd round. You had Braden Swinson and Miles Frazier in the 5th, and you had Garrett Dillinger in the 7th round. That's impressive. Missouri, 14 points on 3 players, 1 first-rounder, Armand Membo. You had Luther Bird in the 3rd, the great wide receiver in the 2nd. You had Marcus Bryant in the 7th. Oklahoma only had 2 players. Saints got themselves a beast, Danny Stutzman, the tackling machine. He went in the 4th round along with Billy Bowman Jr. Ole Miss, 40 points, 8 players, 2 first-round picks, Walter Nolan and Jackson Dart. You had Trey Harris and Trey Amos in the 2nd round. You had Princely Mamilan in the 3rd, Jordan Watkins in the 4th, Chris Paul Jr. in the 5th, and J.J. Peggs in the 6th round. South Carolina, 30 points on 5 players. You have Nick Emenwan and T.J. Sanders and Demetrius Knight in the 2nd round. You have Kyle Kennard and Tonka Hemingway. I love the name, Tonka Hemingway, both in the 4th round. Tennessee, my Vols, had 21 points, 4 players, including 1 first-rounder, James Pierce Jr. You had Omar Norman Lott in the 2nd round, along with Dante Thornton and Dylan Sampson in the 4th. Texas, 54 points, 12 players, 3 first-round picks. Kelvin Banks Jr., Jade Barron, and Matthew Golden. You had Alfred Collins and Andrew McCuby Makuba, excuse me, apologize. In the second round, you had Vernon Broughton. In the third round, Gamar Helm and Baron Sorrell. In the fourth, you had Jaden Blue. In the fifth, you had Cameron Williams and Hayden Connor in the sixth, and Quinn Ewers, our starting quarterback, was a seventh rounder. Yikes. Texas A&M, 19 points on 3 players, 1 first-round pick, Shannon Stewart. You had Nick Stoughton, and Shamar Turner in the second round. I screwed that one up. All right, how's the SEC ranked? Georgia, number 1, 55 points, 13 players, 3 first-rounders. Number 2 is Texas, 54 points on 12 players, 3 first-rounders. Number 3, Ole Miss, 40 points, 8 players, 2 first-rounders. Number 4, we had a tie between LSU and South Carolina. Both with 30 points. LSU had a first-rounder, South Carolina didn't. So LSU's number 4, South Carolina's 5. Number 6 is Alabama with 22 points, 7 players, 2 first-rounders. Number 7 is Tennessee, 21 points, 4 players, 1 first-rounder. Number 8 is Texas A&M, 19 points, 3 players, 1 first-rounder. Number 9 is Florida, 18 points, 7 players. Number 10 is Missouri, 14 points, 3 players, 1 first-rounder. Number 11 is Kentucky, 11 points, 2 players. Number 12 is Arkansas, 10 points, 2 players. Number 13 is Auburn, 9 points, 3 players. Number 14 is Oklahoma, 8 points, 2 players, which means Mississippi State and Vanderbilt did not have anybody drafted. Color me stunned. All right. So who are the overall top 10 schools out of all this foolishness? Well, we'll just do 1 through 10 real fast here. Number 1, what a shock. Ohio State with 69 points and 4 first-rounders. Number 2 is Georgia, 55 points, 3 first-rounders. Number 3 is Texas, 54 points, 3 first-rounders. Number 4 is Oregon, 44 points, 2 first-rounders. Number 5, Ole Miss, 40 points, 2 first-rounders. Number 6, Michigan, 36 points, 3 first-rounders. Number 7 and 8 both had 30 points. LSU is the first-rounder. South Carolina is not. LSU is number 30. LSU is number 7. South Carolina is number 8. Miami, 9th with 25 points, 1 first-rounder. 2 schools were tied for 10th place with 23 points. 1 had a first-rounder, 1 didn't. Penn State's in 10th place. All right, conferences ranking. The big one here. All right, the SEC is the number 1 conference. 341 points, 78 players drafted, 14 first-rounders. Number 2 is the Big Ten with 265 points, 69 players, 11 first-rounders. Number 3 is the ACC with 132 points, 48 players, 1 first-rounder. Number 4 is the Big 12 with 114 points, 31 players, 2 first-rounders. Number 5 is the FBS Independents with 25 points, 7 players. You kind of figured those 5 with Notre Dame. That's kind of what you figured in whatever order. Now is where it gets entry. Number 6, the Mountain West, 18 points, 6 players, 1 first-rounder. Number 7, the MAC, 13 points, 4 players. Number 8, the American, 11 points, 5 players. Number 9, the Missouri Valley Football Conference, thanks to North Dakota State, 9 points, 2 players, 1 first-rounder. We had 2 conferences who had 6 points apiece. So it's highest ranked. Sun Belt's number 10 with the highest ranked player is 59th. Number 11 is the Big Sky, highest ranked 167th. 12th, well, we had a tie there as well. 3-way tie, in fact, between 3 conferences. The Coastal Athletic Association, the CAA, the Conference USA, and the Pac-12. Well, 12th place ends up being the Pac-12. Their highest player is 69th. 13th is the Coastal Athletic Association, who has 99th ranked for highest player. And 14th is Conference USA, who is 100. Literally right next to each other. 15th is United Athletic Conference, is 4 points on 1 player. And number 16 is the SWAC. 3 points, 1 player. Good freaking Lord, it's done. All right, so time for me to put this little stick over here because I got to put it in the pinned comment. But let me know what you think about all this down in the comments. Again, thanks everybody for watching the video. Like I said, when the video posts, I'll pin a top comment. I'm going to go the conferences in alphabetical order. What conference, what school, who got points. Just the ones who got points. That's all I'm going to do. But that'll be in the pinned top comments. You can do what you want with that. So, thanks everybody for watching again. If you haven't done it already, do me a favor, smash the like button, hit the thumbs up. It helps the algorithm, helps the video be seen by more people. Comment on the video. Let you think of all of this. Were you surprised by some of the results? I was. Share the video if you want to. If you haven't done it already, check out some of the other videos I've done. If you like them, hey, subscribe to the channel. On the road to 1K, trying to make some magic happen. You want to follow me on X, the link will be in the description. If y'all want me to put this list up on X as well, I can if you want. But it's going to be the pinned comment on this video is going to have the list up once the video posts. So, again, thanks everybody for watching. It's been a long one here. Hopefully this thing will loop up in one shot. So, thanks everybody for watching. Be safe out there. Enjoy yourself. This is a Sunday recording for Monday because it's 9 o'clock at night. Not too late to put it out tonight, but I'll put it out tomorrow afternoon. So, thanks everybody for watching. Be safe and please be good to each other.